strapped on my gear, heart racing free. Together we'll chase that sweet melody. Molly and Christian flying so high, skydiving dreams, we touch the sky. Paramotoring with the stars of the show. I just wanna fly, come watch us go. Remember the time we soared through the clouds, Molly barking loud, lost in the crowds. The wind in my hair, her joy by my side. Every adventure we take in stride. Molly and Christian flying so high, skydiving dreams, we touch the sky. Paramotoring with the stars of the show. I just wanna fly, come watch us go. Remember that time we soared through the clouds, Molly barking loud, lost in the crowds. The wind in my hair, her joy by my side. Every adventure we take in stride. Molly and Christian flying so high, skydiving dreams, we touch the sky. Paramotoring with the stars of the show. I just wanna fly, come watch us go. Remember the time we soared through the clouds, Molly barking loud, lost in the crowds. The wind in my hair, her joy by my side. Every adventure we take in stride. Wednesday nights at 7, don't forget the time. Tune in live, we'll make the sky shine. Meet the dreamers, the ones who take flight. With Molly beside me, everything feels right. From sunset clouds to the thrill of the drop, every moment shared, I just can't stop. Molly's in my heart, flying so free. With every jump, we're just meant to be. Molly and Christian flying so high, skydiving dreams, we touch the sky. Paramotoring with the stars of the show. I just wanna fly, come watch us go. So grab your gear, chase your own dreams. Feel the rush, join in our schemes. With love for the skies, let your spirit fly. Molly and Christian together we'll try.
Happy Wednesday. Deweese, where'd you go?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
I can't see you.
Well, I don't know why. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Anyway, our guest is back down, and he's got the star of the show also waiting in the background. I'm going to bring them in real quick. Hello, Chris and Molly.
Hi there.
Molly.
Hi, from the darkness.
Yeah, we got two other pilots up in the air right now, and we just came down. So she's hearing them all buzz up there.
Cool. All right. Yeah, if we can have you for a little bit, or if you need to go up and fly for a bit. And
oh no, we're all good. Sorry, trying to get the phone. So way to enlarge the screen.
Turn it maybe the other way. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a motor break-in series, so I'm not flying too much right now.
Okay.
But I just did my an amount of time on there just to do like a fourth fly break-in.
Okay.
So, and these guys are just enjoying some of it's a higher wind, but it's laminar. So I was just showing them how to go vertical with their wing going into the wind. So they're kind of playing around with that right now.
Cool. And where are you?
We're at East Troy, Wisconsin, at the East Troy Airport. We're at the East Troy Sky Knights drop zone, which two of us are members of the Sky Knight Parachute Club here. Okay. And then the third one of us, he lives nearby, but he's just one of the guys.
Nice. Nobody skydiving tonight?
No, they don't have their big planes, so they don't have a lot of people coming out during the week. So we pretty much have the whole drop zone field to ourselves tonight.
Okay. So Brian in Michigan, he wants to know how Molly does while flying. I think our dog would lose her mind.
She does good only because she has separation anxiety. So if she's away from me, she'll start barking up a storm. If she's with me, she's fine. I started taking her skydiving at 2 years old, and I only I did it because I was interested in it. But she, whenever I went skydiving, left her on the ground, she would bark a storm because I was leaving and she was down below, and then. When I took her on her first skydive, she was all happy being in the plane. First time that door opened, it was like a car window, she thought. So she was all excited. And as soon as we jumped out, she froze for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then she just started pushing her paws against the air and just started looking around like, oh, okay, I got it. And she was good. I have goggles for her in skydiving because we're doing 120, 130 miles an hour in free fall. And then for paramotor, I've got, they call them mutt muffs. But earmuffs for her, she hates them. But
Yep.
you know, I try to keep her ears safe. The only time I take them off is when I go high to land and kill the motor, and then we just land, just glide it down, and I'll pull them off of her, and then she's happier then because she doesn't have things on her ears.
I know mine, the doggles, we got them at EAA, and my dogs would have them off before I was even strapped in myself.
Yeah.
Dragging their face across the ground and
yeah, she does that with the earmuffs, and now and then she might put a paw up and hit them, and all of a sudden they're gone. So I had to put a leader line because one went through the prop but didn't damage it, but it taught me a lesson.
How old is Molly?
Hey, girl.
So Deweese wants to know how old Molly is.
Molly's 11 years old. She was born in February of 2013. And within 2 months, I had her on motorcycles with me. And then after 2 years, I had to build her harness for skydiving because they obviously don't really make that. So I combined a couple items from my experience as a skydiver and seeing the tandem jumpers. And I built a 2-part system to hook her onto me without interrupting my handles on a parachute rig.
And if nobody believes you, they can go. Hang on, I'm going to share your screen real quick here. If I get to hit the right button here. Share screen. There we go. If nobody believes you, they can go to your TikTok page because that's the only social media you're on, correct?
Correct. I tried to stay off of social media, so avoid unnecessary meetups with people you don't want to associate with or junk mail or anything like that. Right. And my wife kept pushing me on the you need to get a page for Molly since you're flying with her. No one really gets to see that. So I finally did that this June, and so I've been sharing a lot of her video and everything online with the paramotor and some skydiving photos on there, and then just some regular back to life photos, and then a few photos of my other 2 dogs that we share as well.
So it's actually Molly's page.
Pretty much.
What was that?
It's actually Molly's page.
Yeah, it's Ariel because my company is Ariel Interiors, and then 13 because Molly was born in 2013, and then Molly, so it's Ariel 13 Molly.
That's pretty cute.
I like the picture of her with the ice pack on her belly.
Yeah, it was hot that day, and I put it on her, and she did not fight taking it off, and she was like, yeah, this is feeling good.
So you and I met, and Eric, we met down at the Mixer Fly-In a couple years ago.
Yeah, the Mixer Fly-In for the Fright Halloween one?
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. So I saw him and Coco and Teddy buzzed around Molly, and Molly wanted nothing to do with them, and she was too cool for them. And but you were leaving a little bit early, so we didn't get a chance to talk too much. We exchanged phone numbers, and I've been kind of keeping tabs on you a little bit, on TikTok, and we reached out again and got today set up. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. It's a fun scenario or fun situation. I see one of the guys just landed and I missed it, but
Oh, so
and then another guy, he's up above. He's another fellow skydiver, so he's up flying.
okay. So what
And
kind of motor are you breaking in?
what was that?
What kind of motor are you breaking in?
I unfortunately it's a sad story, but it's I started with the Air Conception Nitro 200, which has been reliable, and the first one I got, they actually had a manufacturer flaw with the piston because they used a ring and then an L-shaped ring, and the L-shaped ring was defective, so they sent brand new rings at their cost, which I was totally sold on our customer service from that point, being a company out of France. And so this last year, I bought the Air Conception Extreme Nitro, which was supposed to be the new powerhouse out there. And I think I don't think they thought the design 100% through. I only had about 33 hours on it, and oops, sorry, Molly. And after 33 hours, I blew the piston on it, and it wasn't a ring; it was a part in the back of the piston, and it actually went into the exhaust, popped up in between the head and the piston, and mashed into the parts. So, and unfortunately, warranties on these things aren't as good as they say, even though they claim a 3-year warranty. So, long story short, I ended up just buying the parts, taking the thing apart, buying the parts, and just putting it back together. Because I do like the motor, but when I got the new part, they had redesigned the part and made that piece that broke bigger, and they never came through and fessed up to anyone on it. So that's kind of where I'm kind of irritated with them, but
Right.
I ended up fixing it, making it work, and talking to a few other people on the Vitaracis and so on, and that might be another go-to motor down the road here.
I think you missed somebody landing again.
Yeah, that was John, another skydiver. So he just came into land. He's right next to me right now, just unbuckling and situating.
Hey, do you know Whitney Horkey?
Yeah,
She
yep. Was up here last year training. I got to get a mosquito out of the top of my head. Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, she was here training or helping Sam Thier with Wisconsin sports and train. And then she's back down in Aviator, I think, working with them during
I think she's
at
still up
current
in
moment.
Minnesota
So
yet right now, but yeah, they're staying there up in Minnesota yet until it cools off a little bit more.
yeah.
So, did you rig up something for Molly, or where did you find a harness for her?
Yeah, what I did is I had to look around for a while at different items. So what I did is I put together 2 harnesses. So I wear one harness, which I'm getting used to the camera angle here. Sorry, guys. So one harness, it's actually a bow hunter's harness that I clip the back. It's a hanging tree harness. So you put it on and you hang from a tree with it.
Yep.
And so what I did is I cut the hang point off of it, and then I sewed 2 new D-rings into it as hookups, because there's 2 waist hookups, and then they're at the waist hip area, and then there's nothing at the chest. So I put 2 rings at the chest. In some of my videos, you'll see that. And then what I did is I got her a harness that's built for dogs for mountaineering to do rappelling. So the big point on that is that it's got a 3-point at the chest for support. It's got 2 belly straps, and then it's got 2 leg straps. So she can't slide down and she can't slide up out of it in case something were to happen, mainly for skydiving in free fall or something like that. So, and so what I did is I took that and I sewn 4 new D-rings on that. And then I used pull straps to hold us all together. So she's independent of me, but she's still attached to me.
Yeah, I saw where if she's hanging, you just kind of lift her up on your legs a little bit.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's hard for her to move her legs a little bit, so I just give her a little boost, and there's a little strap on the back, so I just pick her up like a suitcase and just set her, and then she's good.
Huh.
So sometimes she falls asleep when we're flying because she's used to the routes. Other
Right.
times she's looking at deer if we see them, or other pilots flying with us.
I like the video where you picked up the dinosaur, and I'm wondering what she thought when it bounced off of her.
Well, it got close. I don't think it actually tagged her because because of where my legs were set and the leg straps on the foot launch. But that was last Monday, and what it is the Sky Nights out here on Monday nights. They call it a swoop club, and it's for experienced skydivers, and they just go up to 4,000 or 5,000 feet and do just canopy jumps. And so they had the thing sitting there, so they were trying to hit it, and I asked, well, you guys want me to carry it up? And they said, yeah, go for it. Make great film. So it was a second try when I got it up in the air. First one I just hit it, and the second one I grabbed it, and you can kind of see in the video that it's messing my airframe up a little bit because the wings go one direction, and my frame is a little torque because of that wind drag that little inflatable had. But we took it up so far, and I was like, okay, I got to let it go.
Yep. And Molly, when you let go of it, she looked back like, what the heck was that?
Yeah, where'd it go?
Brian wants to know, what kind of wing do you fly?
I've got a couple wings. I fly mainly the Sirocco 3 by Ozone, and it's a 22 meter. And then I also have a first generation Spider, and it's a 26 meter.
Okay.
And I keep that one because I do have a trike setup that you just slam the motor in and clip it in. It's just a lightweight. Yeah. So if I ever mess up my ankles doing something, that I can still fly, and that's just a backup. So that's where I would use the 26 meter to fly on a trike setup. If say I'm working and I step wrong or something stupid and I mess up my ankle, I can still fly in those days instead of crying on the ground wishing I was up there.
Don't ever anticipate you're going to do that, please.
No, I don't. I don't anticipate messing an ankle up on flying. It's just when I'm out working my regular job.
Oh, okay.
Is Molly a Pomeranian, or what breed is she?
Yeah, she's a full Pomeranian. Yep, she's an 11-year-old Pomeranian.
She's cute.
So she's got a tricolor.
She's been skydiving before this. How many years before this?
Yeah, she was skydiving probably, let's see, in 2015. That's when I started taking her up.
Okay.
So she's experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's been up in the air. She has no problem being up there. When I actually started training in paramotor, I'm gonna turn this light on solid here. It's on motion detector. I actually would take her with me to the training field, or the place I was training at, and she was like my cheerleader sidekick, and so she would go with me every time I went training. And then once I got everything squared away and was ready to fly, then after maybe a month and a half, then I started taking her up with me.
Do you do tandem flights at all?
No, I don't. Not at this point. The only tandem is with her right now, but it doesn't really count.
Are you an instructor?
No, I am not.
Okay. Well, why
Does
not?
your wife fly?
No, she's not into the flying thing at all. She does her martial arts and all that stuff, but she does not. Flying's not in her thing. I try to get her out, but she won't. That's not her thing. So maybe one day I'll have to make it a birthday wish or something to say, yeah, this is what I want. It's an experience. So, but it's like anything else. If they're not wanting to jump out of a plane or go in the air, you can't force it. They got to be they got to want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric wants to know, my husband, he wants to know if you fly a P-40. He likes your shirt.
Oh no, I just like the P-40 because back in my childhood, seeing the movie 1941 with John Belushi flying the P-40 Tomahawk, that's what got me into flying. But
There you go. What other questions we got, guys?
Let me look up here and see if we've got some.
There aren't any. Eric, you got some questions? Do you fly any other general aviation stuff?
no, it's just primarily skydiving and paramotoring, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I've flown in planes before, I've taken stick before, but I've never certified or got licensing or anything like that, or pursued it.
Okay.
Part of it's due to time constraint. You can only have so many hobbies at a time, and they start to take over your life path a little bit.
Right.
That's true.
Were you going to say something, Deweese?
No, I was looking to see if there were any more questions.
No.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a tile setter. I own and run my own company. I used to run a division for a bigger company in the Milwaukee area in Wisconsin, and then I just decided to go off on my own because it was easier for me, and it's I don't know. I thought the hours would be a little easier, but they're not because you're working 24/7 pretty much. But it works out. So all my stuff is word of mouth, and people are always looking to hire me, and not look around for competition or anything like that. So I've got a good client base.
That's
Oh,
cool.
he makes like showers, like tile showers.
Yep, showers, kitchens, backsplashes, exterior
Nice.
tile work, other floor types too. But those I try to stick with the ceramic.
Okay. Shane, our last guest from last week, he was our guest. He goes, "What kind of cat is he holding?" He must have came in late. No, that's Molly.
Yeah, it's like a cat. If I'm not paying attention to her, she'll go against my feet while I'm working on office work, and she'll start rubbing against my feet to get my attention. And it's hilarious. I call her a catting phase.
Brian wants to know what gear you use when you're parachuting.
I just got a Sabre 2. It's just a 150 square foot wing, and a 160 reserve, which never used before. I know it's red. That's it.
And do you skydive from that airport, your local airport?
Yeah. I'm a member of this club here, so yeah, I do skydive here and as well as other areas. It's like
didn't
it's
you
like
live
any.
there?
What's that?
Did you say in your bio that you lived on site?
Yeah, I used to live out here. There's a house right next to the drop zone's office is right there, and there's a house right next to it that shares the same property. And I used to live in that house right on the drop zone, so I could walk out in the morning and fuel the plane, the diesel or the aviation fuel burning, and I could basically get on the plane because I always had money in my account here, so they could just lock it off, and I didn't have to sign up all the time.
Eric wants to know, have you ever gone to AirVenture at Oshkosh?
Years ago, I just don't do it much because of the heavy crowds. Once in a blue moon, I'll go out there and check it out, but it's just when it gets too crowded, it's it can get chaotic real quick.
Not really. We've been there, and I've been there in a wheelchair the last couple of years, so if I can handle it, you can.
Yeah. Like I said, once every couple of years, I'll go out there and check it out because I like seeing the old warbirds and Noah's Ark calendars. Those are a great thing too. But yeah, I like seeing all the warbirds and such because it's just growing up in the 70s, 80s, those were always the coolest things out there versus the modern jets and stuff of nowadays.
Right. Well, hello, Slow Days and Shane. And
Brian wants to know if there's a reason that the reserve is larger than the primary chute.
What's that?
He wants to know if there's a reason why the reserve is larger than the primary chute on your skydiving equipment.
It doesn't have to be like that, but it's just nice to have that extra square footage if you run into problems and you're low to the ground and you need a quick inflation. It's nice to have the reserve just a little bigger so it can give you that pop and that extra cushion before you get close to the ground. Because typically you're throwing a reserve on something like that, maybe 1,000 feet, maybe 1,200 feet. And sometimes it'll take about 700 or 800 feet for something to open like that. And you don't have a lot of time to react. So the higher, the better, but you want something that'll pop a little bit so that you get a little more control and ease of landing. If you go smaller, you're asking a lot of risk because you got to gain so much speed to get the right lift coefficient when you're coming in for that landing.
Shane's asking, is entanglement and downplaning common in skydiving?
Not really. I mean, I only had a line twist once, and that was because I was using someone else's gear. And sometimes there's some of the gear has a metal liner in the risers in the right before the handles, and mine has that, and some don't. And when they don't, it makes it more flimsy. And so I was doing a fast turn, and all of a sudden I twisted 3 times at I was probably about 1,200 feet up, and I locked into a dive. And so I should have just cut away and hit the reserve right away, but I was stubborn and stupid. So I kicked out of it. I got more angry than freaked out. So I kicked out of it, and then I gained control at like 500 feet above ground and just came in for landing. But it was just a stupid thing to do. I should have just pulled pulled cutaway reserve right away and rode the reserve down versus trying to fix it. But mainly the reason you get line tangles is if you're racing a pack job to get on a plane. If I'm not ready and I don't have my gear packed, I'll wait for the next plane. It's just some people will rush it and throw it together, and all of a sudden they have something weird happening in the way their lines are stowed.
Was Molly with you on that flight?
No, that was before I had her. So I didn't give birth to her, but before I picked her up, I think that was in like 2008 or 2009, and it was just. I've been skydiving since 2001. So
what was it like?
Got a lot of canopy experience.
What was it like when you came down that day when all the people, if there was other people on the ground, and there
was two other people that had just landed. I got lucky because no one saw me and could rat me out. I was like the last one down, and I was like, it was just a stupid mistake stupid play on my part. I should have went to the reserve.
So people would have been chewing your butt out otherwise.
Well, if there was an instructor out there that would have witnessed it and saw me at that low opening, because they're pretty good at spotting what altitude you're at when you're up in the air, because that's part of their job. Then yeah, they would have given me a little lecture at that point, even though I am a licensed diver and all that. But it's still one of those things you don't want to show other people, and they think they can get away with it too, and it doesn't always turn out the same way every time.
Right.
How often should you get your gear repacked, your reserve?
It's right now, I think it's 180 days, whether you use it or not. It has to be pulled open by a master rigger and then repacked and resealed, and then they sign off on a reserve card. And then any drop zone you go to, if you're new to and they don't have your rig registered, they want your reserve card right away. And I think part of that is that if something happens, the pilot's actually the one that gets the fine if something negative happens and you don't have a current reserve. and those fines can be anywhere from 8 to 9,000, I think, or something like that. I don't quote me on it, but I know they're up there. So every drop zone, they make sure that you have a current reserve card, and they usually put it in a computer system so that they have it for future reference, and they know when your rig is up. And if you're up on that one day and you get there, you're not jumping unless you use someone else's rig that's current.
Yeah. Yeah, Shane, you're due for a repack.
Yeah, I actually just got mine back Monday from a repack because it was out of currency since April, and I just got it back on Monday, being now it's current, and now I go to any drop zone and I hand them that card and I'm good. So, and then they're going to log it in so that they can track it down too. So if I keep jumping and I just don't keep track of my repack time frame, they make sure I know about it on the day you're going to jump when it's not legal. So, and then you're not going up.
Yeah.
Going back to paramotoring, Eric wants to know, who taught you how to paramotor?
I did my paramotoring from just north of Oshkosh through Bill Stoll.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember what his company, what his operation is, but what's that?
I'm good. I met him once and he didn't like me.
He's a character, but he's good on his safety. I mean, he's very very thorough on how he does things and all that, and he even says up front, you got to find the instructor that you like, that you can work with, and not everyone's going to agree with him, and so on and so forth. So he is up front about it and so on. So he's not sitting there saying that he's the ultimate and all this other stuff, because I've seen a lot of been to enough fly-ins or areas where people are flying, and sometimes I see people that are launching, and I'm cringing on the inside seeing how they're launching. It's just like, okay, I don't want to launch near that person because it's not gonna turn out good. So,
Right.
but yeah, when I worked with Bill Stoll, he was very good on his safety. That was his primary, but he did a good job with training. So I mean, given that I was also kind of a cross train because I was already a skydiver for years, that
Right.
I just had to learn the motor and the difference on the on a paramotor wing versus a skydive canopy.
Right. Well, good.
Which do you prefer, skydiving or paramotor?
I do more paramotoring just because I don't need to wait for a plane, but I do like the skydiving because of the doing free fall formation drops. I like doing what we call as RW, relative workshop. I do like doing that in free fall. Canopy flight, not a big deal, but the big formations and seeing how many points you can turn before you have to cut and pull for landing.
What do you think Molly prefers?
I think she likes the paramotor better because she's looser set, so she can sit on my lap, and she's more mobile that way. When we skydive, I have to have her tight to me so she doesn't flop off to the side of me when we're in free fall and change my airframe, and cause an issue in falling. So when I have that, then she's cranked in tight, but she's locked in, so she's vertical with my body, and basically she's sitting just like this all the way through. She's cranked in tight. I got my main throw out on this side over here. Let's see if I can, on this side, which is clear, my cutaway handle right here, and then my reserve handle here. So she's out of the way of everything. So she's in a safety zone basically, and I don't have to worry about bumping into her if I ever have to do that.
Are her legs loose? I mean, are they through a little hole or are they contained?
She's got there's leg straps that actually grab her legs there's like 2 belly straps, 2 leg loops that she connects into, and that hang on to her legs in place. And so, yeah, basically like a baby carrier. She's secured in that point, but then she's got the 3-point connection at the chest that keeps her from going up and out, and then the leg straps keep her from going down and under at the same time. So she's secured no matter which way I fall or where the wind pushes us.
Yeah.
When I took, because I flew the paramotor trike, when I took Coco up, she's a teddy bear. I had one where it was a front backpack and it had a hole for her tail to come out and then her legs coming out. And I try to put her 2-year-old brother now in it, and she wants nothing to do with him getting near that thing. And she's always right there, like, put me in that. That's mine. And
Yeah.
I bought him a little kind of like a pouch. And I got one for him, but it's a little too small for him, but I wouldn't fly with him with that. But right now I can't even carry anything else besides myself to walk. So I wouldn't be able to carry those two. So just something fun for him. Let's see. Well, quick, are your other buddies there, or did they all ditch you?
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to join in, or you're good?
No, I'm good.
You want in? Just a little bit of anything. Is anything with skydiving, paramotor,
Drink
Molly?
your beer.
I want to talk about Molly.
But she doesn't talk much, so I'm doing it for her.
We want to know how they started flying.
There's John. So you're right in the
Yeah, right in
can
Hi, guys.
there.
Hello.
So who's this?
So this is John. Go ahead, John. I'll let you speak for yourself.
It's
Hi,
John Bechtel, friend of Cliff's. We I don't know, met him many years ago skydiving, and
Okay,
now we're rekindling the friendship in paramotors as well.
cool.
That's pretty
So what
cool.
do you fly?
I'm on a 23-meter Luna 2 PGD
And how did you
on a
learn?
Parajet. What's that?
How did you learn how to paramotor?
I drove halfway across the state to an instructor over in the Madison, Wisconsin area.
Paul Cooley?
Yep, that's the one.
That's where we went.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really cool.
What year did you go there?
I think it was 3 years ago now.
We went during
I think
COVID.
so.
So cool.
Yeah.
Have you been back over there to fly at all?
A couple times, not many though.
Okay.
It's a heck of a drive to get there for
We drive from Tomahawk.
half the time. Oh, well, then never mind. What am I bitching about?
Yeah, we're up in Tomahawk, and then Wheezy, she's down in Mississippi.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, but she's been there too because she comes up here for the summer and gets out of the hot weather down in there, Mississippi. So,
What part of Mississippi?
Hattiesburg.
Okay. We got a house in Biloxi.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
only about-
I'll fly Long Beach down there every so often.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Some
only
of
about 80
the
miles.
beach flights, they're all Long Beach in Mississippi.
Oh, how about that?
there you go, Dewey's. We'll have to message each other when he's heading down there and meet up.
Yep.
And Randy
cool.
her husband just bought a ultralight. So,
Oh.
Okay. And then here, I'm going to throw Molly in the frame. This is her harness. This is her mountaineering harness. So it's easier to show than explain. See, she's got the 3-point in the front,
okay.
and then she's got 2 belly straps on the side. And then she's got, it's hard to see here, but she's got the leg straps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
wrap in there. So she can't fall out this way. She can't fall out this way. And then
She looks like a stuffed animal.
oh, she's not liking this at all right now. But then I had to sew or 2 D-rings on this side and 2 on the other side, where she actually hooks into me, and then she's sitting just like that. She's giving me the eye already. And then I have a leader line with her muffs, and that's her
Yeah,
her
please
ear
don't put those
protection.
on.
She says, oh, no.
So go ahead, Molly. So yeah, now she's full on.
Living life.
Yeah,
She says,
and
we're
then
not
when I
going
take them
flying.
off,
I'm
she's
going to
all
bite
happy.
you.
Sorry, girl.
Molly.
So, but yeah, this is her. So I gotta get used to the camera angle. So yeah, so she's secured like this. I mean, I'm not gonna carry her like this on a regular basis, but she's that's her.
Busy now.
She's just mad at me now.
Bye
So
bye, Molly.
yeah, and then when I land, I just unhook her, let her on the ground, and she just runs circles around me. Like, what are we gonna do next?
That's
Nice.
cute.
What was the gentleman's name that went to Mad City?
Oh, John.
John? Okay.
John Beckham.
John,
Yep.
okay.
Beckham?
Bechtel.
So-
Yep.
Did you ever fly
Go ahead.
at
Go ahead.
Actually, sure.
any other places down there by Paul? Like up by the Dells?
No, not yet.
No,
Mostly I
okay.
just fly in this area here.
No, but I mean if winds
Oh,
weren't
during
good
the
at,
training?
yeah,
No, it was just always at the airfield there.
okay, because we had one but it got shut down shortly after we started flying because some neighbors were getting mad. But it was one of the pig farmers down there, and he had friends that did stole stuff, and he would bring his friends in to do stole practice for competition out at EAA. So that was kind of neat. We get to fly around with them. But boy, did it stink during the summer.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, unfortunately, pig shit's one of the worst smells for
Oh.
manure spreaders too.
Yeah. Oh, we flew right over the pig farm.
Oh yeah.
That was my first flight over there. So Sauk City. That's where it was.
Might as well.
So, and that gentleman came up to our fly-in and gave some flights in his airplane too. So that was pretty nice of him.
What kind of plane was it?
I don't know. I think it was a Cessna something. I don't know. So I was just happy to go up, and he was just happy to be giving people rides and stuff. So my husband's learning in a Cherokee 180 right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
So how
Yeah.
often do you guys get to fly out there?
Say that again.
How often do you get to fly at that airport?
Pretty much any time. I mean, because we're basically going early morning or late evening, and you know, skydivers, legal skydiving is only to sunset. So, and we get a half hour after sunset, and typically during the week they're not flying that late, if at all, right now. And then during the weekend, I mean, in the summertime, you got a longer time for sunset to happen. Right now, it's kind of closing up a little bit, but typically we got plenty of room out here that we can share the space with the skydivers and not be in each other's way. You know, we just got to be cautious that they're out there. And you know, sorry, getting her hair in my mouth. But yeah, as long as we're, you know, like anything else, you just watch out for planes and everyone else. As long as you know there's skydivers in the air, you're in good, you know, you're in good shape as long as you pay attention.
So do any of
the airport's big enough that we can launch in different areas of the airfield.
So I got a question. We interviewed a gal and her husband that are down in Missouri a while back, and they're skydivers. And their plane, I like flamingos, and I've got a flamingo tattoo, and everybody gives me flamingo stuff. And their plane, the inside of their skydiving plane, was decorated with flamingos. What's the story with skydivers and flamingos?
I don't know.
I've never heard of that until just now. So
We'll have to look that up now.
yeah. Must be a local thing.
Yeah, the only thing we get is if you call out that you've done something for the first time or something happened for the first time, buy a case of beer for the club or something. But that's all right.
She talked about that. Is that her making noises?
So yeah, and that's she might have caught a bug or something, but she just like doing her little hack here. She's all good now. We got little mosquitoes flying around right now.
Oh,
all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little sneezes.
Yeah.
Baby mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes getting up her nose.
Oh, well, I appreciate you guys coming on. You should have stayed up in the sky, Chris, and should have went and did the show while you were flying.
I was thinking about it, but I was getting I need to get a VF blocker or something on my on the spark plug cable so I can eliminate the too much of the feedback.
Yeah.
It's I could hear you fine, but I couldn't tell if you could hear me very well, and it was a little rough because John was actually trying to wingtip me while we were talking up there.
Right.
But yeah, no, we like I said, we get out to fly every so often. It turns out great. Molly goes. The only time I don't take her is if it's about 45 degrees on the ground. Then I won't take her. I just don't want her getting cold up there if I stay up too long.
Mm-hmm.
So winter time, she's grounded unless we go down south to Biloxi. Then we'll do some beach flying.
Do you stay down there for the winter then, or just go down for a vacation?
No, my wife, she'll go down there for a couple of months at a time because she had frostbite when she was a kid. So for one, it's easier on her. And then two, it's kind of her getaway thing. So it's like a person having a separate cabin getaway, and it's kind of her getaway thing. So we've been working on it, sprucing it up, making it nice and livable, and then she takes the two dogs down there. I keep Molly up here with me, and I have so much work going on that I can't really get away for too long at a time.
Okay.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'll have to give you Deweese's number, and so if you head down there sometime, maybe her and her husband can meet up with you sometime down there and watch you fly or whatever.
Yeah. There's another guy that I fly with down there who lives right near Longshore. And whenever I'm down there in town, me and him will get together and fly. And we just happened to meet one time when I was flying down there, and all of a sudden I saw another motor up there on the beach, and we connected. And it's the beauty of the sport is you see other people, and you just all of a sudden connect into a bigger group, and you just have fun flying with other people out there.
Right.
So it's like skydiving. It has the same thing where you go to different drop zones and everybody knows the moves and what they're doing, and it's just a big culture, which is just a lot of fun. You don't have to really meet or understand people. You just all have the same like, and things just merge together really well when you're up in the air.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why we do this show, is because then it's like it puts people together, and like somebody might be watching down in the Milwaukee area, or I've had friends that I've met through fly-ins, like in Pennsylvania. They hooked up and met with another gal that flies down in Orlando, and she trained at Aviator. So when she goes down to Florida, she'll meet up with this Melinda that does PPCs. So it's just everybody kind of connects one way or the other. So kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of my TikTok, I got a lot of just connections on Paramotor because there's a bunch of people that are posting. So I just connect a big collage of groups of people so that if I'm ever in an area, I'll know people and they'll know where to go. And I may say, hey, where's a good spot I can launch? I'm here overnight, and all of a sudden you're connected. You got somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Versus hit or miss and guess and not pissing someone off by launching in their area that they don't want you to. So
That's it.
Very nice.
and I got other people too that have dogs too that also want to be canine flyers as well, and they ask me how I do it because they're like, yours looks so well done, and she's sitting in front with no problem because there's a couple skydivers, there's a couple paragliders, and the paragliders usually have the backpack thing, and the dog will sit in the back and look over the top of them, and that's fine. But unfortunately, with a paramotor, you got a motor back there, so you don't want the dog sitting back there.
Right. Who else is lurking around here now?
That's Ray.
It's Ray. Ray, come on in. Stand where are we?
How are we doing
Hi there.
tonight? Hi.
Good. So were you out flying too?
I was. I got a Adam 80 that I fly on a SkyMax with a 23 Dudak Universal.
Okay.
So
Who
It's a good
taught you to
flight.
fly?
I was
bet.
taught out here in East Troy by Wisconsin Flight Sports, I believe in 2018-ish.
18? Okay.
Yeah,
Good. If you know
that's where I
Whitney,
met Chris at. Chris hangs out here all the time, so.
okay. We met Whitney and she's been to our house here in Tomahawk. I'm up in Tomahawk.
Okay, yeah, Whitney, she was down here for a year,
Yep.
so I like
Yeah.
Whitney. She's a good
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, she is.
So
And then like John, my husband and I, we learned to fly down over in Madison with
okay,
his instructor. So yeah.
that's not too far from here.
Nope.
So
So, and
Yeah.
Deweese is down in Mississippi, and she flies trike also. And I did fly trike, but Chris, I don't know if you know, I had a bad accident
I
last year.
I actually saw. Well, I was watching a few of your shows and I saw that one, and
Oh,
I
Yep.
sorry the happening, but hopefully you're doing well under the recovery, and it's you just try to learn from all those things
Yeah.
best you can.
What we think is I missed a line on takeoff and had the weekend before we were in Michigan and had a different instructor work with me on my A-assist and moved my A-assist stuff around. And when I went back home, I guess too many things were going wrong that morning, and front wing frontal and the broken line, and it took me into a right hard turn spiral down into the blacktop.
Ew,
So
sounds awful.
16 more days. It'll be it was a year in June, and 16 more days I get my left foot amputated. So just just make sure you check all your lines and don't fly dumb.
Double cup them.
Granted, I-
Double, quadruple. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, don't ever get into a rush in this sport. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. And
Just like skydiving, when you're packing a rig, if everyone else is ready, you're not. You
Yeah.
pass, let them go.
I was flying by myself. I didn't have anybody to rush me, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got complacent and I just wasn't looking, and obviously, but I just
it's
don't
hard
want
to
it,
catch everything all the time.
right? Because it was the lines coming from where it's hooked to the trike and coming to the back of the hoop, and it was somewhere in there. They hooked on a a little pulley that wasn't being used. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I
So-
think that on ours is the only thing we got to on foot launching. We pretty much try to watch out for is our little strobe lights. Sometimes you might connect the line on that when you're taking off, and I've seen it where guys just do a U-turn and come right back down because they can't straighten it back out.
Yeah.
right.
And that's the one thing I try to watch out for, but that's one thing I've seen plenty that it'll catch sometimes a snag on an A line, and all of a sudden you're doing a turn the whole way you're flying. So
Yeah.
That's why I like mine. I got the strobe on the back of the hoop, so it doesn't. If any of the lines come across the front of the hoop, it can't catch the strobe. So
Yeah.
it's just less to catch on.
yeah, I mean, unless you can snag, the better.
Right. Right.
We I'm trying to think. I think we started putting them on the inside of the spars,
Yeah.
so they weren't getting hooked.
Yeah, that's where I got mine on the back side towards the prop, but it's tucked
Yeah.
away. That way,
Yep.
you just can't catch a line. You catch a line back there, it's going to be in your prop anyway. So,
Right. Definitely.
But
Oh, well, thank you guys. And Molly.
Are you sleeping?
Like, I want to go home. It's bedtime. My two just perked up.
Yeah.
So, did you hear the song in the beginning, Chris?
I caught part of it, but I wouldn't remember it unless I re-listened to it.
Yeah. I made that this morning, so you'll have to re-listen to it.
All right, that's not a problem.
Yeah. Well, if you get any other skydivers someday and they want to be on here and talk about learning their skydiving, I know there's a gentleman that lives out in Vegas. He was from Wisconsin and he used to skydive with his brother. He loves when we have skydivers on here, so love to get new people that are pilots or falling out of the sky on the show. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I like doing the RW. John here, he does the crew, which is where you're stacking the canopies together. So there's different how do you call it, disciplines within the sport.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta ask. So, do you guys do the fast swoop landings?
Not super fast ones, no.
Yeah.
Not like what you're thinking of.
Yeah, not the ones where you pull your A's down and you grab your brakes and you do a nosedive and then pull it out right before you're gonna go down. So
Where you see them on Instagram doing the Red Bull crazy guys or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's a fast way to kill yourself.
Yeah. Thank God you guys don't do that.
Guy at the pond over at Midwest, over in Racine last year, when they were doing was it Nationals?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Nationals, and he
Nationals,
was doing a swoop pond practice, and he hit the pond hard and killed him. I think he was from Kentucky or Tennessee.
Ouch.
So it's and he just came up here for that. So it ends up a bad situation if you don't know what you're doing up there.
Wow.
And the
Dang.
guy had experience, a younger guy, but he had experience. But things can happen. A misjudgment, perception, anything.
Right. Bug in the nose.
No, you're not going to get a bug that high up, but
on the swoop, you will.
well, I think he was in trouble before that, though. But yeah, it's if you don't gauge that let off the A's at the right point when you're coming in for that dive and pull out, it can be a big catastrophe waiting to happen.
Hey, Molly, look, remember this boy chasing you around?
I'm like, oh, she's turning her nose. What do you see, Molly?
Molly, look at this guy. He was chasing you.
Molly.
Running circles around you.
Said, Dad, take me home, Dad.
It's like, I want nothing to do with him. Oh, and for the listeners, I had Mark George today messaged me and asked if the Lone Star crew could be on next week because EFD, Endless Foot Drag in, help me out, Deweese, Kansas.
Yeah.
They're going to be, they want to do a live while they're down at EFD next week. So that'll be our show for next week. So if you guys are interested, and I know Kramer's there, and I told Mark Kramer needs to be at least allowed to say hi. So Kramer, we'll see you next week on the show a little bit. So, yep, Fredonia, Kansas. So.
And they always have fun there.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping to go there, so. Not this year again. So. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you guys pack up, and thank you again. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
you
been
bet.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's fun to chat and share some question and answer situations.
Definitely.
And what was
Molly.
your TikTok
Oh, yeah.
area?
It's Ariel 13 Molly, and that's AERIAL 13 MOLLY. Or you
guys
may be
have-
able to search Flying Dog or Molly. Because usually I hashtag her on there, so it's easier to find.
I'll put it down in your bio and your description.
Sure.
I'll add that to it. So. Oh, I got one more thing. I forgot. If people haven't made a comment, quick do it right now. I'll give you 10 seconds. Add a comment because I had been doing the giveaway thing and I completely forgot about it. I've been forgetting about giveaways. I'll see if I can round something up and throw it in the mail. Okay. Linda, you've been talking all night. All right, I got to share screen real quick. I got to hit the right button. Giveaway. All right, here we go. Can you see that entries?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Good luck. Oh, Yessa was in there? Oh, that's me. I won.
Oh, no, do it again.
That rigged.
Right?
Yeah.
Good thing Travis is in here. All right, here we go again. Scuba. My goodness, Scuba.
Right.
He always wins.
Yeah.
All right. Congrats, Scuba. I'll see what I can round up and get out in the mail for you. So,
Congratulations, Scuba.
yeah.
Thanks, you guys. We appreciate it. It's been fun. And
Yeah.
thanks,
Thank
Molly.
you.
Thank you,
Molly.
Molly. I owe you a little milk bone or a treat someday.
Bye-bye.
Actually, Teddy does.
Look, she's waiting.
I got to find my. All right. Here we go. Have a good night, guys.
Good
See you
night.
next
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.
Thank you for joining us tonight on Just Wanna Fly. We hope to see you next week. Swapping stories under the stars glow. Old laughter replayed like a favorite show. Telling stories under the stars glow. Old laughter replayed like a favorite show. Reaching for a triumph.